7th Canto, Chapter 5, text 22 and 23. 23, 24. Sorry, 23, 24. Very famous verse from Prahlad Maharaj teaching. All right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Prahlad Uvacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischin Navalakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Ditam Uttamam. Translation and purport. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy names, forms, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods shall be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Purport. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father to say something from whatever he had learned, he considered that what he had learned from his spiritual master was the best of all teachings, whereas what he had learned about diplomacy from his material teachers, Shanda and Amarka, was useless. Bhakti pareshanubhava viraktiranyatracha. Bhagavatam 11:42. This is the symptom of pure devotional service. A pure devotee is interested only in devotional service, not in material affairs. To execute devotional service, one should always engage in hearing and chanting about Krishna or Lord Vishnu. The process of temple worship is called archana. How to perform archana will be explained herein. One should have complete faith in the words of Krishna, who says that he is the great well-wishing friend of everyone. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. A devotee considers Krishna the only friend. This is called Sakya. Pumsarpita Vishnu. The word Pumsa means by all living entities. There are no distinctions permitting only a man or only a Brahmana to offer devotional service to the Lord. Everyone can do so, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9:32. Striyo Vaishyas tata Shudras te piyanti param gatim. Although women, Vaishyas, and Shudras are considered less intelligent, they also can become devotees and return home back to Godhead. After performing sacrifices, sometimes a person engaged in fruitive activity customarily offers the result to Vishnu. But here it is said, Bhagavati Adha, one must directly offer everything to Vishnu. This is called sannyas, not merely nyas. A tridandi sannyasi carries 3 dandas, signifying kaya, mano, vakya, body, mind, and words. All of this should be offered to Vishnu, and then one can begin devotional service. Fruitive workers first perform some pious activities and then formally or officially offer the results to Vishnu. The real devotee, however, first offers his surrender to Krishna with his body, mind, and words, and then uses body, mind, and words for the service of Krishna as Krishna desires. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following explanation in his Tatya. The word Shravana refers to giving oral reception to the holy name and descriptions of the Lord's form, qualities, entourage, and pastimes, as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and similar authorized scriptures. After orally receiving such messages, one should memorize these vibrations and repeat them, kirtana. Smarana means try to understand more and more about the Supreme Lord, and Padasevana means engaging oneself in serving the lotus feet of the Lord according to the time and circumstances. Archana means worshipping Lord Vishnu as one does in the temple, and Vandana means offering respectful obeisances. Manmanavava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Vandana means namaskuru, offering obeisances or offering prayers, thinking oneself to be Nitya Krishnadas, everlastingly servant of Krishna, is called Dasyam, and Krishnadas, everlastingly a servant of Krishna, it's called Dasyam, and Sakyam means being a well-wisher of Krishna. Krishna wants everyone to surrender unto him because everyone is constitutionally his servant. Therefore, as a sincere friend of Krishna, one should preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender unto Krishna. Atmanivedanam means offering Krishna everything, including one's body, mind, and intelligence, and whatever one may possess. One's sincere endeavor to perform these 9 processes of devotional service is technically called bhakti. The word adha means directly. One should not be like the karmis who perform pious activities and then formally offer the result to Krishna. That is karma kanda. One should not aspire for the result of his pious activities, but should dedicate oneself fully and then act piously. In other words, one should act for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, not for the satisfaction of his own senses. That is the meaning of the word adha, directly. Anyabilasita shunyam yana karma dhyanabritam anukulyena krishnanu kshiranam bhakti uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. One should simply satisfy Krishna without being influenced by fruitive knowledge or fruitive activity. The Kopaltapani Upanishad say that the word bhakti means engagement in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not of anyone else. This Upanishad describes that bhakti is the offering of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To perform devotional service, one should be relieved of the bodily conception of life and aspirations to be happy through elevation to the higher planetary systems. In other words, work performed simply for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord without any desire for material benefits is called bhakti. Bhakti is also called nishkarma, or freedom from the result of fruitive activity. Bhakti and nishkarma are on the same platform, although devotional service and fruitive activity appear almost the same. The 9 different processes enunciated by Prahlad Maharaj, who learned them from Narad Muni, may not all be required for the execution of devotional service. If a devotee perform only one of these 9 without deviation, he can attain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes it is found that when one performs one of the processes, other processes are mixed with it. that is not improper for a devotee. When a devotee executes any one of the 9 processes, Navalakshana, this is sufficient. The other 8 processes are included. Now let us discuss these 9 different processes. Om Agyana Timirandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respect to Lovisos and to him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is very important mantra teaching of Prahlad Maharaj to his friend, that the process of devotional service is the highest activity for all human beings, because it helps us to understand who we actually are and what should be our engagement. If the soul is eternal, then the question may arise, what will the soul do in eternity? Sometimes people ask, well, I will be bored if I go to heaven. What should I do there? They have no idea. Only in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the other holy scriptures, following the Vedic knowledge, they give description how the soul can be engaged in the loving service of the Lord eternally. Not only for the material world to be free from repeated birth and death, but that's an eternal engagement, continue after liberation. Once I was discussing with an impersonalist in India, and he was saying Mukti is the highest achievement for human beings. I said, there is something more beyond Mukti. And he asked, what is that? I said, Bhakti. Bhakti is higher than Mukti. Because if you get liberation, okay, what you're going to do after liberation? The soul is active, not only in the material world. Eternally, the soul nature is to be active. No? It's not we merge and become one with God and lose our identity. That's hellish for the devotees. They don't want that kind of liberation. They want to be always engaged in the loving service. And it is explained we can become servant or friends or father, mother, or lover or wife to Krishna. These are rasas that exist eternally in the spiritual world. And Krishna is the Rasa Raj, he is the supreme enjoyer of all rasas. So being part of him is natural for us to be engaged in his service. And the way to engage in his service is explained here. Hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, doing all kinds of services to the Lord. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that from the 9 processes of bhakti, the first 3 are the most important, which are hearing, chanting, and remembering. And these 3 are the most important. No? And the 3 are contained in one, which is kirtana. Because when you chant, you're also hearing, and while you're hearing, one should remember that I am eternal servant of Krishna. I am part of him, I belong to him. This is the idea of engaging in devotional service, to realize our eternal identity as a spirit soul, as servant of Krishna. So we should, with full faith, try to understand our real position and know that the way to engage in devotional service should be without desire for material benefit. The Prabhupada used this word fruitive activity, but people don't know if this fruitive what means. It's not the common word people use in daily life. What is this fruitive? Means you're expecting a material fruit benefit from what you do. But somebody say, well, everybody does that. It's not possible to do something without expecting something in return. Yes, that's true. But in Bhakti Yoga, we expect in return the pleasure of Krishna. That's all. That Krishna is pleased. That's the return we expect. So pious people may do something and offer, for example, people may come temple and put a bag of rice in front of the altar. And that's good, they're pious. That's natural, they want to do some seva. But actually, there is a difference between offering something to Krishna and offering yourself to Krishna. So pure bhakti is first offer yourself to Krishna, then offer the things. And the bhakti mixed with pious activity is you only offer the things to Krishna. The result of what you do, some part you offer to Krishna. That's a duty, with a sense of duty. That's okay. That's good. But higher than that, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his son, Manasa Deho Geho Yokichu More, Arpiluntu Apade Nanda Kishore, dear Krishna Nanda Kishore, I offer you my mind, Manasa Deho, my body, Geho, my home, because everything belongs to you. I am only your servant. Wife, children, all belong to you. If I have to work to maintain the house, because it is your house, it is your family. I'm only your servant. So this is the mentality of pure devotee. He doesn't think himself, okay, I am the proprietor, the owner, and I'm giving something little to Krishna. No, it's not like that. Krishna is the proprietor of everything. He's giving us the intelligence, how to manage, how to work, how to, act in a way that we can survive in this world. Who's giving the intelligence? It's coming from Paramatma. In our farm in Mexico, New Bahulavan, I've seen birds doing their nest. And the nest they do attached to the wall. I mean, they have no hands, they have only the beak, and they are putting there and the things remain there, doesn't fall. And he's giving the intelligence how to do this. They are very little animals. Paramatma is giving intelligence. Do like this. Bring it wet. Attach it to the wall, wet. Then bring some mud, put some more. Then becomes dry, then you can put more. And that's the way they do it. And who's giving the intelligence? Everything is coming from the Lord. No? All intelligence coming from material and spiritual. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, those who surrender to me, I will give them the intelligence through which they can come to me. That's the spiritual intelligence. Once a friend asked another friend, are you intelligent? He said, let me see. He was looking in his pocket. If I have money, I'm intelligent. That's material intelligence. That means if you are intelligent materially, you know how to make money to survive in this world. No? But the spiritual intelligence is given by Krishna. When we want to serve him, want to engage in his loving service, then he will give intelligence. Do like this. Do like that. So Krishna at night will play the flute called the gopis. They come running. He was giving intelligence. Some of the gopis were married, have children. But they will come in their spiritual body. The material body stay along the husband. But in the spiritual body, they will go dance with Krishna. But Krishna will tell, why you're here? Go back to your husband. You're chaste ladies, you are not supposed to be here. Krishna will joke with them like that. And they become angry at Krishna. You are our eternal husband. Like that. No? So, anyway, let's read about now Prabhupada is going to explain the 9 processes of devotional service. 1. Shravanam. Hearing of the holy name of the Lord, Shravanam, is the beginning of devotional service. Although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient, in chronological order, the hearing of the holy name of the Lord is sufficient. In chronological order, the hearing of the holy name of the Lord is sufficient. It's the beginning. Indeed, it is essential, as enunciated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpanamarjanam. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is cleansed of the material conception of life, which is due to the dirty modes of material nature. When the dirt is cleansed from the core of one's heart, one can realize the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha. Thus, by hearing the holy name of the Lord, one comes to the platform of understanding the personal form of the Lord. After realizing the Lord's form, one can realize the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And when one can understand these transcendental qualities, one can understand the Lord's associates. In this way, a devotee advances further and further toward complete understanding of the Lord as he awakens in realization of the Lord's holy name, transcendental form and qualities, his paraphernalia, and everything pertaining to him. Therefore, the chronological process is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. This same process of chronological understanding holds true in chanting and remembering. When the chanting of the holy name, form, qualities, and paraphernalia is heard from the mouth of a pure devotee, his hearing and chanting are very pleasing. Srila Sanatana Goswami has forbidden us to hear the chanting of an artificial devotee or non-devotee. Hearing from the text of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the most important process of hearing. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of transcendental chanting of the holy name, and therefore the chanting and hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendentally full of mellows. The transcendental holy name of the Lord may be heard and chanted accordingly to the attraction of the devotee. One may chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, or one may chant the holy name of Lord Rama or Nrsimhadev. Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtam. The Lord has innumerable forms and names, and devotees may meditate upon a particular form and chant the holy name according to his attraction. The best course is to hear the holy name, form, and so on from a pure devotee of the same standard as oneself. In other words, one who is attached to Krishna should chant and hear from other pure devotees who also are attached to Lord Krishna. The same principle applies for devotees attracted by Lord Rama, Lord Nrsimha, and other forms of the Lord. Because Krishna's the ultimate form of the Lord, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, it is best to hear about Lord Krishna's name, form, and pastimes from a realized devotee who is particularly attracted by the form of Lord Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, great devotees like Shukadeva Goswami have specifically described Lord Krishna's holy name, form, and qualities. Unless one hears about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord, one cannot clearly understand the other processes of devotional service. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that one chant the holy name of Krishna, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. If one is fortunate enough to hear from the mouth of realized devotee, he is very easily successful on the path of devotional service. Therefore, hearing of the holy name, form and qualities of the Lord is essential. So hearing is a very important activity. Even materially speaking, if you are sleeping and there is fire in the building, it is too late if you feel the fire too close to your skin. You will wake up because you feel the heat. It's too late. No way to escape. You're surrounded by fire from everywhere. But if you hear people shouting, fire, fire, help yourself, save yourself, then you wake up, help you escape from the fire. So hearing, even materially speaking, hearing can save your life. No? So spiritually also, we can be saved by hearing about Krishna's name, form, qualities, activities, teachings, Bhagavad Gita. If we hear from the right source, which is Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, from the three sources, then we are in the right path. We are in the path of developing love for Krishna. And although Krishna has many forms, Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtam Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samavavat Parama Pumanyo Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Bhajami, beginning with Lord Rama, and Nrsimha Vamana. So many avatars of Krishna. He is the origin. It's like one original candle lighting other candles. They may have the same fire, but there is one original candle. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, in the text 1865, he explained, although there are many forms, avatars of Krishna, one should not attract his attention to other forms of the Lord, only to the form of Krishna, the beautiful boy with the peacock feather and a flute in his hand, a beautiful round smiling face. One should not divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. One should focus in the original form of the Lord. Because the most beautiful, the most attractive, the most merciful, isn't it? So hearing Bhagavatam Shravana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized 5 activities: Nama Kirtan, performing chanting of the holy name; Bhagavat Shravana, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam in the company of devotees. One should not hear Bhagavatam from professional reciters. There are, in India especially, professional reciters of Bhagavatam. They made a profession out of it to get, to maintain the family, to get money. It's like a profession. So, but that can be bhakti. That can be considered bhakti yoga, devotional service. Devotional service should be done without expecting a material reward. I came to know about this professional. They are expert, huh? They play nice music and they know how to recite very nice melodic mantras from the Bhagavatam and tell stories and things like that. And they go directly to the 10th canto and the 5th chapter of Rasa Lila. They don't go first canto, second canto, no. They go directly to Gopi and Krishna dancing with gopis. And the people they take everything very sentimental. They don't understand the truth about Krishna. They just take it, so romantic, Now I can be romantic with my girlfriend or wife. They take it that way because proper knowledge is not given. Only sentimental, explanation of Krishna with the gopi. Not that is just they gave everything, renounced everything to serve Krishna. No, that does not explain. So, and Sanatana Goswami he said that milk is very pure, but if the lips of a snake touch the milk, you don't drink that milk, become poisonous. So in the same way, although Shiva is pure knowledge, but if touched by in Mayavadi, impersonalists, they will give their own interpretation. Yeah, Krishna is God, you are God, I'm God also. Everything is one, everything is God. Like that. They explain whimsically like that. So we should not hear. That's why Shankaracharya didn't touch the Srimad Bhagavatam. He only gave explanation of Bhagavad Gita. He didn't want to touch Bhagavatam because he knew. He believed in Krishna. That he's an avatar of Shiva, Lord Shiva. He was ordered by Lord Vishnu to speak this Mayavad philosophy. And why Vishnu asked him to do such a thing? The reason is that because materialistic people, they were misusing the Vedas to justify killing animals, animal sacrifice. So Buddha came and stopped animal sacrifice. They say, well, it is in the Vedas. Although Bhagavatam said in Kali Yuga it is forbidden to kill animals. Maybe in other ages they could revive the animal by mantra. It was allowed. But in Kali Yuga it is forbidden. They didn't care about this. They said, no, it is in the Vedas. So Buddha said, okay, I reject the Vedas out of compassion for the animals. By rejecting the Vedas, he became agnostic. Agnostic means non-believer in God, He didn't speak much about God. Although he's avatar of God. But he was, anyway, out of compassion, he stopped this yajna. But then there is a need to introduce again the Vedas as authority. Because of Buddha philosophy, the Vedas were rejected, the Vedic knowledge, So Vishnu asked Mahadev, Lord Shiva, to come earth as Shankaracharya and introduce again, defeat the Buddhism and introduce the authority of the Veda again, but in an impersonal way. Because people were already atheists. They will not accept immediately God's personality. So he say, introduce impersonal first. So he obeyed. Lord Vishnu is not at fault, Shankaracharya. But then Krishna sent Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya to defeat Shankaracharya with the authority of the Vedas, establishing Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism is to accept the eternal function of the soul as servant of the Lord. The eternal servant. That's Mayavad explains something different, that you become one. You merge in Brahman, and then you can become one. But for devotee, that's a spiritual suicide. We want to maintain individuality, personality, in order to love Krishna, to see him, to eat with him, dance with him, speak with him. That's the function eternally in the spiritual world, personal relationship. So Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, they introduced the cult of Bhakti in South India. That's Vaishnavism is very powerful in South India. And of course, spread all over India. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he took the lessons of all the sampradayas and put it in one ultimate conclusion. The ultimate conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference between the soul and the Supreme Soul. One in quality, different in quantity. So So we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam, hear the holy name from pure devotees, then we are on the right path. Okay, let me read a little more. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.11, there is this verse. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhadavatyapi namanyanantasya yashonkitani yat shrimbanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. Verses describing the name, form, and qualities of Anantadeva, the unlimited Supreme Lord, are able to vanquish all the sinful reaction of the entire world. Therefore, even if such verses are improperly composed, devotees hear them, describe them, and accept them as bona fide and authorized. In this connection, Sridhar Swami has remarked that a pure devotee takes advantage of another pure devotee by trying to hear from him about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. If there is no such opportunity, he alone chants and hears the Lord's holy name. Kirtana. The hearing of the holy name has been described above. Now let us try to understand the chanting of the holy name, which is the second item in the consecutive order. It is recommended that such chanting be performed very loudly. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni says that without shame, he began traveling all over the world chanting the holy name of the Lord. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was advised, Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. A devotee can very peacefully chant the holy name of the Lord by behaving more humble than the grass, being tolerant like a tree, and offering respect to everyone without expecting honor from anyone else. Such qualification make it easier to chant the holy name of the Lord. The process of transcendental chanting can be easily performed by anyone, even if one is physically unfit, classified lower than others, devoid of material qualification, or not at all elevated in terms of pious activities. The chanting of the holy name is beneficial. An aristocratic birth and advanced education, beautiful bodily features, wealth, and similar results of pious activities are all unnecessary for advancement in spiritual life. For one can very easily advance simply by chanting the holy name. It is understood from the authoritative source of Vedic literature that especially in this age, Kali Yuga, people are generally short-living, extremely bad in their habits, and inclined to accept methods of devotional service that are not bona fide. Moreover, they are always disturbed by material conditions, and they are mostly unfortunate. Under the circumstances, the performance of other processes such as yagya, dana, tapa, and kriya, sacrifice, charity, and so on, are not at all possible. Therefore, it is recommended Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namayeva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva Nastieva, Nastieva Gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one advances perfectly in spiritual life. This is the best process for success in life. In other ages, the chanting of the holy name is equally powerful, but especially in this age, Kali Yuga, it is most powerful. Kirtanat eva Krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one is liberated and returns home back to Godhead. Therefore, even if one is able to perform other processes of devotional service, one must adopt the chanting of the holy name as the principal method of advancing in spiritual life. Yagai Sankirtana Prayayanti Sumedasa. Those who are very sharp in their intelligence shall adopt this process of chanting the holy names of the Lord. One should not, however, manufacture different types of chanting. One should adhere seriously to the chanting of the holy name as recommended in the scriptures. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While chanting the holy name of the Lord, one should be careful to avoid 10 offenses. From Sanat Kumara, it is understood that even if a person is a severe offender in many ways, he is freed from offensive life if he takes shelter of the Lord's holy name. Indeed, even if a human being is not better than two-legged animal, he will be liberated if he takes shelter of the holy name of the Lord. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the feet of the Lord's holy name. The offenses are described as follows: to blaspheme a devotee, especially devotee engaged in broadcasting the glories of the holy name. B. To consider the name of Lord Shiva or any demigod to be equally as powerful as the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone superior to him. C. To disobey the instruction of the spiritual master. D. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures and literature compiled in pursuance of the Vedic literature. E. To comment that the glories of the holy name of the Lord are exaggerated. F. To interpret the holy name in a deviant way. G. To commit sinful activity on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. H. To compare the chanting of the holy name to pious activities. I. To instruct the glories of the holy name to a person who has no understanding of the chanting of the holy name. J. Not to awaken in transcendental attachment for the chanting of the holy name, even after hearing all this scriptural injunction. There is no way to atone for any of these offenses. It is therefore recommended that an offender at the feet of the holy name continue to chant the holy name 24 hours a day. Constant chanting of the holy name will make one free of offenses, and then he will gradually be elevated to the transcendental platform on which he can chant the pure holy name and thus become a lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is recommended that even if one commits offenses, one should continue chanting holy name. In other words, the chanting holy name makes one offenseless. In the book Nama Kaumudi, it is recommended that if one is an offender at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, he should submit to that Vaishnava and be excused. Similarly, if one is an offender in chanting the holy name, he should submit to the holy name and thus be freed from his offenses. In this connection, there is the following statement spoken by Daksha to Lord Shiva. I did not know the glories of your personality, and therefore I committed an offense at your lotus feet in the open assembly. You are so kind, however, that you did not accept my offense. Instead, when I was falling down because of accusing you, you saved me by your merciful glance. You are most great. Kindly excuse me and be satisfied with your own exalted qualities. One should be very humble and meek to offer one's desires and chant prayers composed in glorification of the holy name, such ayi mukta kulai upasya manam annibritta tarsha upagiya manam. One should chant such prayers to become free from offenses at the lotus feet of the holy name. All right, so I'm going to stop here for today's class. Tomorrow we can continue reading the purport. There's 14 pages purport. I read just 7. Thank you for Suchi for choosing such a profound subject about devotional service, about the purity we should try to get by chanting without offense. I remember some years ago I was in Spain, and one new devotee approached me. He said, "Oh, I've been chanting 16 rounds. Oh, very good, congratulations." He said, "But I'm making many offense. Should I stop chanting?" I said, "No, you should stop making offense." Stop chanting never. Prabhupada is saying here, even if you make offense, the only way to counteract is chanting more. Keep chanting. That will free you eventually will free you from committing offense. The most common offense is to chant unattentively. The mind goes here and there. We have to try to put more concentration in the chanting. If we don't try to do that, then we can make more offenses. But if we rectify, try at least sincerely to concentrate, even if the mind goes, bring it back, then there is less possibility of making other offense. So, I mean to say, if we are careful, we don't have to commit any of these offenses. It's not difficult to avoid. We should not offend any devotee or think chanting the name of Brahma or Shiva is equal to chanting name of Vishnu or Krishna. It's not the same. They are servant of Krishna. They are not on the same level as Krishna. And some people in India say, you chant any name, Kali, Durga, Ganesh, Shiva, Krishna, it's the same thing. That's an offense. So, and to disobey the spiritual matter, the spiritual matter says, follow 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds. So you have to do this, no matter what. And the rest of the offenses, I mean, the last offense, it is explained here, not to awaken transcendental attachment for chanting, even after hearing all this scriptural injunction that one should try to develop taste for chant. It's not that, oh no, I have to chant. I still have 4 rounds to finish. No, I want to chant. I like to chant. One should try to develop a little taste for chanting, And how we develop taste for chanting? By chanting. One devotee asked Prabhupada, how can I become expert in Sankirtan? Prabhupada said, how somebody become a drunkard? By drinking. If he drinks wine every day, become alcoholic. So if we chant every day, we become addicted. We can't stop chanting. That's the idea. I tell you, I will share with you experience I have some years ago. I had surgery, many years, gallbladder surgery, and full anesthesia, full anesthesia. So I prayed to Krishna, please, don't allow me to forget you, even I am unconscious, please. So anyway, one devotee was with me, and after the surgery, I still was under effect of anesthesia. But he started hearing me talking a lot. So the nurse said, all of them, when they start coming out of anesthesia, they talk rubbish. But he said, start listening to what I was saying, and I was giving Bhagavad Gita class. You are not the body, you are eternal soul, you have to surrender to Krishna, life is temporary, full of misery. I don't remember that the devotee was telling me like that. And then they took me to the room, and I wake up because I heard somebody chanting loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'm looking around, nobody was there. So, I myself woke myself. I chanted while being unconscious. So I thought, there is hope that at the time of death we can remember Krishna. We only have to pray to Krishna, Before start chanting your japa, we have to pray to the holy name. I'm going to chant, my dear Lord, allow me to develop some taste for chanting. Allow me to be focused in the chanting. Allow me not to commit offense. Like that, one should pray. I want to glorify you. I want to serve you. Like that, one should be sincerely praying for the mercy of the holy name so one can chant good rounds. Very important. All right, I'm going to stop now and ask for questions. I saw one hand raised. So thank you for attending the class. I can see it was a good idea to make it at the evening at 7. More devotees participate. So Krishna gave me the inspiration to ask for change of time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Very nice. And just a reminder that part 2 will continue tomorrow at 7 p.m. and Wednesday as well. So please mark your calendar and set your timers.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Thank you.
Arranged. Thank you, Shamohini, for arranging this. Yes.
Thank you for a wonderful class.
But you should, all of them should hear your question. He's Trivikram want to ask a question.
So, Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. So, in the class you mentioned that, so in Bhagavad Gita, it states that, Krishna states that one has to focus mainly on his form, specifically, not the forms of any expansions like, other expansions. But sometimes the devotees, mainly they are focusing other forms like Jagannath or maybe like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. So how to understand this?
Jagannath is Krishna.
Okay.
It's no different. Jagannath is Krishna and Dwarka. Okay. That's why he has brother Balaram and Subhadra, means Krishna and Dwarka. Okay. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna. So, no, it's also Krishna. Okay. So, no difference, no problem with that. I'm talking about other forms, other avatars.
How about Narsimha's?
Narsimha, we can pray to Narsimha Dev to protect our bhakti, Bhakti Vigna Vinasha. He protects the bhakti of the devotees. We can pray to him to help us clean with a sharp nail, take all the dirt from our heart so we can develop love for Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
But sometimes we also chant Ugram Veera mantra.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with chanting the mantra for Narsimha. But the Ishta Devata means that the main deity you worship is Krishna.
Okay.
You may pray to Lord Ramchandra, it's okay. But the main focus is Krishna, your highest worshipful deity. You respect all others. Even Devata we will respect, but love and service we offer to Krishna. Arranged.
Dhanut Pranam. This is Anand Vrindavan. I want to make a comment on the same question that I heard in one lecture, that just like a chaste woman, she doesn't think of anyone else but her husband. Same way, we have to be only focused on our Isht Devta. We may respect everyone and we may offer, pranams and everything, but just like how a chaste woman loves her husband, that's how we have to be very loyal to our Ishta Devata.
You're correct. And the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Ishta Devata is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. That's the Ishta Devata. Very easy.
Yes.
Very simple, nothing complicated.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. This is Ananta Chaitanya Das. So when we are mentioning Ishtadev, I've heard some devotees have Radha Govind Dev as their Ishtadev, then Radha Madan Mohan as their Ishtadev. So how does that, how are they choosing, or how is it coming about?
Well, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, these three deities of Vrindavan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Gopinath, and Radha Govindaji, they represent three aspects of pure devotional service. Madan Mohan, he represents the aspect of
Sambandha. Sambandha.
Sambandha Tattva, yes, the connection. What is the connection we have with Krishna? Well, what is the connection we have with other living entities, with this material world? No, that's Sambandha Tattva. This deity, Madan Mohan, means he's attract even thousands of cupids, Madana. So the Sambandha is to understand my main attraction is to Krishna. My attraction to the material world is artificial. It's not real. It's illusion. So Sambandha Tattva is the first thing. Then Radha Gopinath, Radha Govindaji represent Abhideya, the function. Now I understand. I am not this body. I'm eternal servant of Krishna. So what should I do next? Engaging and chanting, hearing, remembering, serving about Krishna. So that's the function. And Radha Gopinath represent the ultimate goal. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prajojana. Prajojana is the ultimate goal of life. So
Yes,
naturally, the devotee may feel identified with this deities and that function, and all of them are Radha Krishna. So it's the same Ishtadevata for everyone. It's
yes,
just
Maharaj.
different function is being realized, no?
Yes, Maharaj, because some in one of the Bhagavatam classes, one Mataji was mentioning that her Ishtadev is Bake Bihari, and then one other devotee said his Ishtadev is Radha Govindadev. So I got really confused. How are they, choosing the Lord, or is there any something specific?
The important thing is everything is about Krishna, Radha Krishna, isn't it? So,
Yes, Maharaj.
So somebody may feel attraction to one particular form of Krishna, but it's all of them is Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Actually, Banki Bihari is both Radha and Krishna together. You know that.
Yes, Maharaj.
Haridas Swami, he found the deities too, actually. But he prayed for them to become one. Because Syam Sannyasi, I can't buy bangle saris, and more difficult for me. So Radha Krishna became one. And that's why they cover the feet. They don't show the feet of Banki Bihari usually, no? Only once a year they show the feet. And I was fortunate to be in Vrindavan at that time. And I noticed one feet is bigger than the other. One foot is bigger than the other. Because the smaller foot is Radharani's foot, and the bigger foot is Krishna's foot. So they are Radha Krishna. That's and in Vrindavan, the temple that most visited is this Banki Bihari temple and ISKCON temple, Krishna Balaram temple, are the most visited during the day, during the year. So it's fine. These are details. The important thing is to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Maharaj, there is a question in the chat from
Yes.
Sri Nandananda Das Prabhu. This is Hare Krishna Maharaj. When we request devotees to chant for someone going through difficult phase, is this aparad or offense according to the 10 offenses to chant for benefit? How do we understand this chanting?
That's very important question. I hear sometimes devotee ask, let's chant one extra round for the benefit of this devotee going through some difficulty like that. We can pray to Krishna for the spiritual benefit of other devotees, even the health, Prabhupada himself told his disciples, you pray to Krishna that I get my health back. So if Krishna so desire, because he's using his body for devotional service. He's using his health for serving Krishna. So it's not material, it's a spiritual. So if the devotee is engaged in Krishna's service, we pray for his well-being. It's not material because he's using that for serving Krishna. But if we are praying for somebody non-devotee, if he get healthy by our prayer, what he will do, eat meat, we eat, drink wine. And so we can pray for their spiritual benefit, not for their material, health or anything like that. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you. That answers my question.
Very good. All right. If there are no more questions, we can finish for today, and tomorrow we will continue at the same time, 7 o'clock. We will continue reading the rest of the 7 pages of the purport. We will discuss more about the 9 process of devotional service, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for attending the class and nice numbers. It's nice to see so many devotees coming together, and it's a great pleasure for me to